Hello my friends and welcome back. It's Wednesday, it's the hump day as you say on that side of the pond. Welcome back. We have survived half of the week and now we have information about the outcome of the United States-Ukraine-Russia negotiations in the Saudi Arabia. I mean, it took a lot of time, I know, but the Kremlin and the White House, they take time to give out these statements about what happened. I mean, Zelensky was faster. He already immediately made a video after the meetings. But now we have the United States and Russian side also. Let's look how these two are playing that game. The White House has officially published its outcome of the negotiations with the Ukrainian and Russian experts, and Russian and United States statements are almost identical, but not quite. And the fact that they are not quite identical, it's a massive difference, actually. The United States says that for Ukraine, the United States and Ukraine agreed that the United States remains committed to helping achieve the exchange of prisoners of war, the release of civilian detainees, and the return of forcibly transferred Ukrainian children. For Russia, the United States will help restore Russia's access to world market for agricultural and fertilizer exports, lower maritime insurance costs, and enhance access to ports and payment systems for such transitions. The whole point of the sanctions to Russia of the European Union and the US is to take money away from Russia to punish them. Now the United States is giving them a promise that they will help them back into the payment systems and to lift the sanctions and to get the agricultural products flowing. It cannot fit in my head. We're supposed to punish Russia because they attacked a sovereign nation. And what is the US doing? I cannot fit it inside my head. And by the way, another thing, the US and Russia agreed to safe navigation in the Black Sea. And reportedly, this starts in effect today. It starts now. Ceasefire in the Black Sea. Well, Zelensky has said that they will hold on to any ceasefire as long as Russia doesn't break it, and if Russia breaks it, Ukrainians will continue attacking the Russians immediately. For statistics, Ukraine and Russia have signed 14 ceasefires ever since 2014 to 2025. 14 of them in 11 years of war, all of which Russia broke. So Zelensky knows that history, he knows what he's doing. He will sign that ceasefire. I think he already did, but he also knows Russia will break it, and they're ready, like the Ukrainians are ready to send more drones into Russia then. And by the way, the Kremlin said, like, they're obviously dragging their feet, and Trump doesn't understand it for some reason. I'm here to open up all of that for you. But according to the Kremlin's readout, the statement, the Black Sea Initiative will come into effect after lifting the sanctions, lifting restrictions on trade, lifting sanctions on manufacturing companies and food, insurance companies, lifting port service restrictions, lifting restrictions on agricultural supplies. So Putin is playing that game with Trump, just dragging his feet, making fun of Trump, humiliating America. But they don't want to sign anything unless these conditions are met. And these conditions pretty much bring Russia back into the world economy, putting billions into Russian pocket daily, because this is like a massive amount of money here. Lifting sanctions and allowing them to take part in maritime trading again equals to putting billions per day into Russian pocket again, like it happened before 2022. All of that money will go to Russian war economy because they are now a war economy, meaning most of the money they make will go into making tanks, missiles, artillery shells. The United States knows this. Trump knows this. If he gives Russia a place back into the world economy, he is responsible for giving Russia billions of dollars per day for making military equipment. This is what he is doing. So, I mean, time will tell if he actually does it. But right now, I mean, things are moving that way. And people are saying, oh, this is Trump's negotiation tactic. It's the art of the deal. All right, my friends, all right. If he doesn't do it, that's good. If he does it, he is a full-time traitor of the United States and the Western world and everything we stand by. I say we because we are part of that world and that rules-based order. If it gives Russia back a place in the world economy, Trump is a traitor. And here is Zelensky saying that, yeah, the 30-day ceasefire on the Black Sea will start today, takes effect today. And Zelensky also says, because it's not his first rodeo, you know, he says, if Putin breaks the ceasefire, Zelensky will ask Trump for weapons and sanctions. And Ukraine gave the US a list of sites that must not be targeted. We also wanted to separately discuss potentials for all civilian infrastructure beyond just energy. As soon as Moscow breaks this ceasefire, Zelensky will send another hundreds of drones into Russia just picking out oil refineries. It really hurts Russia. And now just to illustrate to you what Trump is really doing to the United States export of 2024 to European Union, $370 billion. Canada, $349 billion. Mexico, $334 billion. UK, $79 billion. Russia, $0.5 billion. So all of these billions together, these are allies. These are countries part of the system we call rules-based order, the collective West. This is what puts massive amount of money into the United States budget. And Trump is siding with Russia, who is responsible for 0.5 billion of exports. There's no other way to see it. In my eyes, Trump is a traitor to the United States people, and I stand by it. I see everything he does. Yeah, there's no other way to see it. And just to illustrate more how delusional Trump is about Russia, there's a new interview. I mean, I'll show you just 30 seconds of it. Don't worry about it. It's short. But just to illustrate that he has no idea how to deal with the Russians.
We're hearing that maybe Russia is dragging its feet at this point, and Zelensky has shown some openness, especially after what happened in the Oval Office a few weeks ago. Is that accurate at this point?
I don't know. I mean, I'll let you know at a certain point, but I think that Russia wants to see an end to it, but it could be they're dragging their feet. I've done it over the years. You know, I don't want to sign a contract. I want to sort of...
So it could be that they're dragging their feet, you know. Russians cannot end this war. Putin knows this. Russian economy is now fully on the tracks of war economy. If you know anything about it, it means that it's not that easy to get out of that. It's not peace they want. You know why? Because the situation in Russia is pretty bad. The demographic situation, the inflation, the economic, it's quite screwed. They don't have to deal with that because war. War is a remedy for everything in Russia, because if you are in war, you can ignore all of that and the population forgives you for it because you're fighting. As soon as the war ends, the population Russia expects the government to do something about these other issues now that come to light. It's a massive amount of men returning from the front, weaponized, radicalized, violent, screwed up from the head. All of that needs to be dealt with. I mean, the economic situation. They don't gotta deal with that because they're at war. Their entire economy is now leaning on war. People getting paid 3 times as they did before because they're working in an artillery shell factory. If you take that away, suddenly you have a massive amount of joblessness. You have hundreds of thousands of men returning from the front who cannot fit into the civilian economy anymore. Rampant alcoholism. You don't gotta deal with that because there's a reason right now. It's war. Mr. Trump, I'm gonna educate you. First of all, Russia doesn't want peace. They need peace to regroup and attack again, but they don't want it. Second of all, to deal with the Russians, Trump has started completely from the wrong foot. You gotta always be in the position of strength. Trump has given away his strength so many times and the United States position so many times. He just has no idea how to deal with that specific country. Russians. It's a very specific way to deal. Unfortunately, he's delusional about them. Alright, my friends, I am able to do what I do because I have such an amazing community who support me and buy me a coffee. Become a member of Buy Me a Coffee and I'll be butchering your name as I do in every video for the last forever. And I'll be butchering with my Estonian pronunciation. Also, if you are a monthly member, you will be getting this patch because you deserve it. Shoot me a message and Buy Me a Coffee. I'll answer and I'll send this patch to you. We have Brad Miller. We have Xengue, that's it. Gui Flovers. Karle Stovt Lebov. Elizabeth Kpaer. Thank you to these 5 people. I appreciate you and you make it possible for me to do what I do. On another note, my friends, Now you will get 4 extra videos per month. As you can see, Russian army is addicted to trains. That's the analysis of Russian train logistics for the military and it's for members only. As you can see from here, it's an in-depth analysis of the entire Russian military train logistics. You will get 4 videos, every Saturday, 4 weeks per month. You'll get it. Just join up as a member of the channel. It is the cheapest YouTube allows. It's only 99 cents. It's like Arizona green tea, it's 99 cents. It's never gonna change. The cheapest. See you there, my friends. Okay, we have talked about some quite serious stuff now, so I know you wanna see something funny. So here I bring to you United States people really showing their support for a cybertruck and for a common mission to the Mars. Because look, they are painting Elon Musk's Starship on the cybertruck to show their support. And it's a beautifully done Starship. Props to whoever did this. But now, my friends, something that will make some of you frown. I know half of my viewers are from the United States and you've been dreading this moment, me too. But the security leak, the leak of the Signal chat. I gotta talk about it. It's so big, I cannot ignore it. But we are going to actually start with the memes, because I gotta ease you into it. It's pretty tough. First of all, Putin is looking at his phone. Wait guys, Pete Hegseth is typing. You up? Yeah man. Oh, there's stupid memes, but there's many of them. Let's get through them and we'll get to the serious stuff. This time around, it's not just him. They're all morons and it's Cheaping and Putin talking. All of the main dudes here talking to each other and Elon Musk was not included and Elon says, you guys have a group chat? Why am I not included? All right, let's get to serious stuff. I'll end it here. We'll start with an overview, so you will know everything about the, let's call it what it is, Signal Gate, and let's call it what it is. In previous administrations in the US, people would resign. That's how serious it is. The Signal Gate episode so far is far more serious than the US administration is trying to suggest. It is not just a question of Mike Waltz making a mistake by accidentally including a journalist into their battle plans. What it is essentially is United States top secret intelligence battle plans, time of attack, locations of attack in Yemen leaked to the public. They should have never been using the medium for this purpose as they did. The level of information that was posted appears to amount to at least secret targets, times and weapons ahead of a strike, but some may possibly be even higher than that. CIA operative names. These are clear breaches if true, and everyone involved should have known that. Intelligence can be time sensitive, but its passage and storage should only ever be appropriate means. The use of mobile devices and apps such as Signal are strictly controlled and or prohibited. Well, controlled. So this, on the photo you can see the members of that Hoodie PC small group chat. Everybody who is here is here. Do what you want, but there is Goldberg. There is this Atlantic journalist, Goldberg. He was added. Who added him? Why? Well, he had his hand on top secret information suddenly, where the attack is going to take place, at what time, what are the targets, and it leaked. And the response by the people responsible for this has been to basically escape from responsibility. They deny it pretty much. And if they continue to circle the wagon in order to justify their actions, they run into danger of all being dragged down with it. The Senate Intelligence Committee is on the scene as I post, and the no classified information was posted, that's their defense, is unraveling quickly. So that's pretty much the overview. And now we're going to start watching videos because the Senate Defense Intelligence Committee is already interrogating, Tulsi Gabbard, they're interrogating Radcliffe, everybody who is involved, the highest of the high of United States intelligence. And let me tell you, if I've ever seen somebody put their head under the sand, what like the birds do, it's this. No responsibility, no admission of guilt. It's running away pretty much. We're going to watch all of these videos. I want to be in the same boat with this, with you. I think we're going to watch them together.
We're going to get to the bottom of it. Hey, I appreciate your comments, but you guys have both testified under law. There's nothing classified in that information. There's nothing, in a sense, I've not heard either one of you say, gosh, we screwed up. So we'll find out. This is too important to our national security. And again, I know we've got more members to close.
They testified, is my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, that there's no intelligence community classified information. Is that correct?
That's
Director
correct.
Ratcliffe, is that correct? Director Gabbard?
Yes, Chairman.
Well, again.
That's not correct. She said repeatedly there's nothing classified. Period.
Right, period. You can't have it both. And again, we'll see. I cannot believe this is not going to come out. And if it's not classified, again, we'd ask you to give it to the public today. I'm sure one of your aides back there probably got it.
So the defense of Ratcliffe and Tulsi Gabbard and everybody, even J.D. Vance and Mike Waltz, it's, oh, the information was not classified, so it's not a security leak. Well, it was classified. It's the time and date, the location of an attack. I mean, this puts American aviation pilots in risk. They are the one making this attack. The pilots who are taking years, if not a decade almost, to train, their lives and even the money of taxpayers put onto their training is you cannot even put a number to it almost, but it's in tens, if not hundreds of millions altogether. And that is just put in risk by not taking proper security measures, by leaking accidentally or whatever it is, a signal chat where all of this is discussed. It shouldn't be in signal. It puts these pilots' lives at risk because there's now an opportunity for the Houthi rebels to have some kind of a preparation for this attack, perhaps even some kind of an air defense capability to shoot down any kind of... You know where it goes. They can prepare for it, and it puts the lives of these pilots at risk, which in my eyes, if you're a director of CIA or if you're whatever you are at the top of that intelligence, it's your responsibility. They don't accept that responsibility. We're going to watch some more videos, my friends.
And would not information about the timing of airstrikes allow a military to pre-position or cue air defense systems to shoot down enemy aircraft?
I think, Senator, from our perspective, any advance warning is something that we certainly are trying to protect.
Yeah. Director Ratcliffe, this was a huge mistake, correct?
No.
Director Ratcliffe says, no, this was not a mistake. I cannot. This is one of the top guys in the US if we're talking intelligence. I mean, he is the one who is responsible if anything happens like this and anything goes wrong, it's under his watch and just runs away. This is an act of a coward in my eyes. If something goes wrong, you just say, no, it didn't happen. This is why I see Trump and now I see Ratcliffe and all of the bunch, they're rotten in the head.
A national political...
Hold on.
No, you
Let me
hold
answer.
on. No, Director Ratcliffe, I asked you a yes or no question, and now you'll hold on. A national political reporter
You can characterize it how you want.
Was made privy
The White
to
House has
sensitive
made clear
information about
that there
imminent
was an
military
inadvertent
operations against a
mistake,
foreign terrorist
an inadvertent
organization.
mistake of adding a reporter.
And that wasn't a huge
to
mistake?
assume.
That wasn't a huge mistake?
Well, I think they characterized
This is
it as
an
a
embarrassment.
mistake.
This is utterly unprofessional. There's been no apology.
It is an embarrassment, it's unprofessional, it's unsafe, and it puts the lives of these pilots at risk. If any of these, yeah, I know, you're going to tell, oh, the United States planes are so good, so stealth, nobody's going to shoot them down, Houthis cannot shoot them. Let's say they did. Let's say they did shoot one down. It's because they got an early warning because of this leak. What's the situation then? Are they going to run away and play coward like they do here? American pilot could have been killed. This is why there are these guardrails to intelligence, that it cannot leak for this reason, to not put the men who do the missions in danger. And here we have the US Secretary of Defense, Mr. Hegseth, answering a question. And I read from people's responses, if I see anybody talking about anything, I read more of how they talk than what they say, because people can yap around anything. But how they say, what's the body language, what's the reaction, are they running away, are they looking you in the eye when they speak, are they aggressive, are they defensive? Let's see. This is big Hegseth, utterly responsible man for this mistake to happen. Let's see how he responds to a journalist.
Looking forward to it.
one question.
Can you share how your information about war plans against the Houthis in Yemen was shared with a journalist in the Atlantic? And were those details classified?
You're talking about a deceitful and highly discredited so-called journalist who's made a profession of peddling hoaxes time and time again to...
So he is asked a true question. A huge blunder happened. So Mr. Hex said how to react to it. And first thing the man does is attack the journalist, who is just a journalist. The journalist was added by one of these guys. So the mistake was done by one of these guys. And he attacks the journalist immediately. That's first sign of weakness, first sign of cowardice, not accepting any kind of responsibility on your behalf, attacking, just blaming the shifting the blame,
Include the hoaxes of Russia, or the fine people.
And he goes, Hexeth is really out of his character, like he's really angry, he's very aggressive, he's defensive, both body language. You can analyze it all you want, but what I see is cowardice. No responsibility. And with this, we're going to end the videos with this promise, I promise you, but I want to bring you a retired United States Army General, McCaffrey. We're only going to watch 1 minute because the golden words, the golden point, he says it in 60 seconds. There's no arguing this. This guy has a career in the US military almost all his life. He speaks the truth. And let's listen to it.
Probably the most sensitive information we have in the armed forces are pending military operations. And in this case, we're talking about the lives of Navy and Air Force flyers. By the way, we also ought to assume that signal has been penetrated by many intelligence organizations, to include the Russians and the Iranians. So you're basically putting the lives of U.S. service people at risk. You're also displaying to the Houthis what targets are after, and so they can take measures to disperse or avoid the attack. It's a sense of arrogance. And by the way, I also think it's an attempt to avoid accountability under the Official Records Act. These people have been routinely using Signal, I'll bet you, for many other types of sensitive discussions, knowing they wouldn't be filed.
All right, I'll end it there, but he said everything I've been saying, I agree, every last word to it. Doesn't matter, you're Estonian, you're American, intelligence is intelligence, OPSEC is OPSEC, and if there are leaks, people who do the job, whatever, is it a private, is it a captain, is it a pilot, their lives are at risk. They will die because of the mistakes. And there need to be a guy to take responsibility for that, because it's the troops who defend America. It's the troops who do these orders. They are taking the hit. They have wives and children. So this is why you can see I'm riled up, because this doesn't fly. All right, my friends, that does this certain topic. Now we're going to go to Ukraine. We're actually going to look at the front lines, because there are some changes. We're going to look at some hits in Russia. This might also be the part you'll be waiting for. But before I've been so riled up, so serious about this. We gotta go a little bit humorous, a little bit. Give me 30 seconds on this. Remove this hideous painting at once, Trump says, looking at the painting, and then, sir, this is a mirror. You might think this is just a made-up joke, but no. Look, this is the actual painting they made. I think it was even crowd-funded. People gathered like a massive amount of money for someone to paint this and put it up. And then Trump saw it and made a whole damn story about it. He's so unhappy. I would like to say, sir, just lead the United States of America. Don't rattle about some painting. It's not your job at all. Who cares what you look like? If you do a good job leading America, nobody cares about the painting, but he does so much. I'm not going to read it to you, but it even says, the artist also did President Obama, and he looks wonderful. Why do I look so bad? He's like a little 10-year-old kid who don't like the way the selfie came out. It's so pathetic in my eyes. I'm just a military blogger from Estonia. I'm a corporal only, and I take more responsibility for my mistakes, and I do make mistakes. You will never hear Trump say these words, I do make mistakes and I will try to be better in the future. You will never hear him say this. All right, my friends, now we'll jump to Ukraine. And Ukrainians are actually pushing back on several fronts. We're not talking anything big. We're talking localized offensives, localized counteroffensives, pushing back on some flanks. For example, in the Donetsk front. Within the framework of a successful tactic counteroffensive, Ukrainians have pushed Russian forces back from the Kurakhove direction. They have completely cleansed the settlement of Constantinople. First of all, very cool name for a Ukrainian village. Cleansed it of occupiers and are fortifying their positions on the ground. It is expected that the tactical offensive operation will continue as well. Now, this is Andreevka. One of the Russians lost a lot of men pushing into it, and now Ukrainians are pushing back the flanks. And it's not the only one. We're also talking about Pokrovsk. The settlement of Solone, located southwest of Pokrovsk, has returned under the control of the armed forces of Ukraine. You know, Pokrovsk, one of the main strongholds of Ukrainian army. It's the logistical supply hub for other settlements also. Russians are pushing on the salients. You know the story. Well, Ukrainians now are pushing back. And it's all happening in the last 2 weeks. So something has changed on the fronts. Usually it's Ukrainians who very slowly step back, trading Russian casualties for their land. But now they're taking back some villages. I'll leave it up to you. What's up? Why this has changed. But yes, we have this also in Belgorod. The Ukrainian armed forces continue to build on their success in the Belgorod-Kursk region. According to the updated data, the settlement of Popovka came under Ukrainian control as a result of assault operation. A day earlier, Demidovka was taken under control. So in Belgorod, you know, Ukrainians pulled out of Kursk, immediately went into Belgorod. We're only talking about like 3 villages, few clicks from the border. It's nothing deep, it's localized, but still it's territory that Putin considers, you know, Mother Russia. He cannot go any kind of agreement before he takes back these territories. So Ukrainians have the cards here. Popovka, Demidovka, and it's one more in the southwest here. Southeast, sorry. You remember the attack on the Engels Air Base, where the Russian Tu-95s were stationed? It was like 1.5 weeks ago, a massive, massive explosion, beautiful mushroom cloud. Well, reports are coming in now that radiation levels around Engels Air Base are 44 times higher than normal levels. It's believed that something radioactive got blown up in the explosion that was kept in the ammo how do you say this word? Cache? I don't know how to say it, I'm sorry. And everybody says in the comments also, I read it, that it's the depleted uranium rounds. Well, my friends, depleted uranium rounds, they are radioactive, but like so small amount. It's almost zero. Even if you blow a bunch of them up, it's nothing. It doesn't do nothing. 44 times, it's 44x, it's 4,400%, right? That's a massive, massive increase. No depleted uranium round can do that. So there was something big and radiating that got blown up there. Now, another kind of damage, this time to Russian soldiers' lungs. The soldiers who took cover in the pipeline. You remember the pipeline when they tried to get into Sucha? The massive pipeline, the Russian soldiers, about 100 of them went in. Ukrainians blasted them to bits, but some of them survived. Well, now the lungs are covered with soot. They're filled with soot. This is a Russian doctor explaining this. And they have photos to show this. So yeah, this was a suicide attack in any sense, because if the Ukrainians didn't blow them to bits, they were going to get CO2 poisoning. They were going to get methane poisoning or soot lungs, and they have that now. Shows you the other lack of regard to the health of Russian soldiers in the Russian army. Now, my friends, we're gonna go, like every video needs one flaming Russian oil refinery, and this time it's the Kavkazskaya oil refinery, Kavkaz oil refinery. This is a very big one. It was doing 1.7 million barrels per day before the war, and now Ukrainians attacked it last week. The Russians now have confirmed it's offline, fully offline. It's not going to be back online anytime in the foreseeable future. And we are, 1.7 million barrels per day. If you put that into money, dollars per day lost for the Russian dictatorial regime, we're talking hundreds of millions. This is what Ukrainian drones can do, very cheap ones. And you're telling me Ukraine doesn't have cards? I beg to differ. They have a lot of cards, thousands of cards in the shape of drones that they can send to Russia. So as soon as Russia breaches that new 30-day ceasefire, they will release these drones back to Russian oil refineries, taking again millions, tens of millions of Russian budget. This is what hurts Russia. This is why they're begging Trump to lift the sanctions. And now for the final news. This has not been confirmed, but it's big enough that I cannot ignore it. Reports have appeared on Russian Telegram channels that Russian General Lapin, commander of the North Group, I mean this is a big guy up there, may have gone missing or have been killed in Belgorod region of Russia. The information hasn't been verified and needs to be confirmed. Lapin is one of the commanding officers who carried out the bombing of Kharkiv, and there's a lot of war crimes that he did. He's a guy, look, the highest of the high, commands one of the army groups in Russia, I mean the Army Group North. So 4 choppers and an Su-25 was destroyed a few days ago. After that, the statements about Lapin's missing or KIA came out, so perhaps he was in one of the choppers, we don't know. But if he truly is KIA, MIA, whatever, injured, he would be the biggest casualty, the highest ranking casualty, I mean, not physically the biggest, the highest ranking casualty of the Russian army. We will find out if it's true or not, but I think you should know this. All right, my friends, as you can see, I'm talking fast, I'm not wasting your time. I want to get this over with 30 minutes so you can go on with your day, but you still know everything that is important. I think you do now. Thank you for watching. Thank you for trusting your time with me. I promise I will not waste it, and I'll be back on Friday. If you like my channel, become a monthly member of Buy Me a Coffee and I'll be mentioning your name. If you want 4 extra videos per month for members only every Saturday, just join the channel on YouTube. It's only 99 cents. It's the Arizona iced tea, the cheapest, and it will never be higher. Thank you, my friends, and until Friday, Slava Ukraini, and bye-bye.